Hello, wonderfuls. I had an experience this week that I would really like to share with you. So this has happened a couple of times or something similar to this, where I get a request from one of my clients to use my gifts and see if I can tap into someone's energy. Usually it's someone that they're worried about. Maybe someone has run away or a lost child, um, or a member of the family that they just haven't been able to get a hold of and they get concerned. So this happened on Thursday. And one of my clients sent me this message. It said, "Hi, Anne. Wondering if I could impart some help from you. My friend's son," of course, all personal details are hidden just to protect people's privacy, "ran from home about 2 hours ago and is somewhere in their neighborhood but it's a wooded, very wooded area. There's a river, all those things. We are all out looking for him. I was wondering if you would be able to let me know if you have any feelings or get a read on him. Many of you know that I connect best to the energy of things and people if I have a picture. So a request like this would be really hard without a picture. But this client knows me well enough that she included a picture of the child. There he is. Of course, I blurred out his face. Um, so she sent me the picture and I responded, super scary. Let me see what I get. With these kind of requests, if I'm available, of course I'm going to help if there's a child out there who could be in danger. Um, and then I asked, are you sure that the parents are okay with me checking? Because ultimately we want to respect everybody's energetic boundaries. And if parents aren't comfortable with this kind of work, then I absolutely would not do it. She verified um, that, yes. She said, I'm about to see the mom in 2 minutes, so I'll let you know what she says. Thank you for your willingness either way. And then she responded that yes, the mother said yes. So I tapped into this child's energy through his eyes in the picture and did voice to text, because oftentimes when I'm getting information, I can't really stop and type it out because it's coming quickly. And work like this is much more of an art than it is a science, right? So as it's coming in, I'm trying to figure out what it means. And so with the voice to text, it came out something like this. He's currently okay, but he's feeling really scared and he's getting darker and it's cold. I sense that he left really angry. And at first he was feeling really angry. And he kind of had a mentality like, I can do this by myself and I don't need them. And yes, I do think that he is in the woods. That anger faded pretty quickly, actually. And it became instead very imaginative. So he basically got lost in his imagination. And, just the kind of thing like, what if? Yeah. And it seems like he's that kind of daydreamer. Like it felt like that was part of his personality. Like that's something he commonly did. And so he kind of got lost in his daydream. And when he snapped out of it, he didn't know where he was. And that's when the fear came in, because I sensed that he spent a lot of time out in the woods, close to his house. But he was probably near a trail usually or something like that, because it felt like fear. And he didn't know where he was. And so he was nervous and it was getting colder and he was starting to feel colder and he wasn't appropriately dressed for it to get much colder than it already was. And I said, I think that he was wearing a sweatshirt or maybe a light jacket or something when he left the house, because when he left the house, he was fine, but he was getting colder. Now, when you work with an intuitive like me, we all receive information in different ways. And so one way that I receive information is when I connect to someone's energy, I feel it in my body. And so that's why this information sounds this way, because I was like, oh, I'm cold. Oh, I feel a little bit afraid. Why do I feel afraid? What's different about this? And then I kind of see flashes and get information. And I have to put it together. Okay. So then the next part, because I realized how funny that sounded, instead I recorded it. And I'll play you some of those recordings. Whoops.
He also seems to have this understanding or this feeling that it might rain soon or might snow. I don't know if that's something that they had talked about. And then he's wondering how that's going to feel since he's already feeling cold. He's not feeling hungry yet. And I don't think he's injured. His body felt good. So I don't think you have to worry about him being in the river or anything like that at this point. I did get the sense that there was a minor injury coming. So maybe, like when it gets dark, if he isn't found before then, he might trip and roll his ankle or something like that. I'm not sure if he's feeling ready to come home yet, is the other thing. There's a stubbornness to it. The kind of, I'm going to prove them wrong. I'm going to make them pay, maybe. No, it doesn't seem like he's trying to make someone pay. That's not right. More like he can do it on his own. And, yeah, like he's bigger than people think he is. I don't know if that tracks. Yeah, so even if he heard people calling his name right now, I don't think he would come running. I think he would hide. That will change though as it gets darker because the fear is starting to build. And the coldness is starting to build. Yeah, if there's anything else, any other specific information you would like, let me know and I'll see what I can get. I did feel somewhat blocked off. And at first I thought maybe it was parents that had some kind of unknown energetic protection on him. But once I got further into it, I think it's him. I think it's him not wanting to be found yet. Yeah, hopefully that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope that he's found soon.
And so from there, I sent a message that said, sorry, I did a word for text for the first part and a recording for the second. So I hope it's helpful. As you can tell by how kind of disjointed some of it was, this wasn't something that I planned to show everyone. This was a real raw interaction between the client and I. And she gave me permission to share with everyone afterwards. A couple of things to note in there. It happens frequently that I say something and then I'm like, nope, that isn't right. Just like I said, he wants to make them pay. And then I said, nope, that isn't right. Because immediately when I say something that's totally off base, like I think that I'm interpreting the information I'm getting right, and then it comes out of my mouth, and it's almost like I can see their guides going, what are you doing, Anne? What are you saying? That's not right. Or else I get this kind of feeling like, oh, I'm lying. Oh no. And that's when I corrected it when I said, like, he wants to make them pay. Oh no, that's not right. Never mind. Nope. And that does happen from time to time. As I said, this is very much an art. And so I get information and then I try to figure out how to put it in a way that's understandable for other people. And it's not always 100% right. That's the way it goes. Another thing is I disconnected after that. So I kind of sent the message and thought, okay, I'm done. I've done what I can to help. And then all of a sudden I got another download of information. So that's why there's the second one in here. Because oftentimes that will happen if like the guides are like, no, you forgot something really important. You need to add this. And so that's what I did here.
One more part that just came in that was important. He had planned to go sleep at a friend's house or something tonight, or maybe like sneak back into his house after it was dark. I think it was someone else's house though. But now that he doesn't really know where he is, that obviously isn't going to happen. And that friend doesn't know that this was the plan. Like he came up with this plan all on his own and was just gonna like knock. I see a sliding glass door in a basement. So maybe he has a friend that sleeps in a basement or something that he was gonna go like knock on. Yeah, but that obviously is not the plan right now because he doesn't know where he is.
So I sent that second part and then I got a response from her and it said, all that checks out 100%. Thank you so much. I'm honestly so grateful. And so that was the child's parent's name. Thank you. And for me, that's always really important because when you do work like this, that, it isn't something that is super widely accepted. And it isn't something that is like a yes or no, right? It's not a mathematical equation where if I solve it correctly, I know. Right. So I have to kind of figure it out. What could this mean? What do I think it means? And so to get confirmation back from someone that, yeah, oh, that makes sense. You're on the right track is really helpful because I don't know this child at all. I had never met him. I don't know his parents. I know my client. I don't know any further than that. So that was really helpful. Then she responded again and she said, do the words park, bring up any feelings. And so she gave me the name of a park. We'll say Lexington Park. That wasn't it, but just for the conversation. And at this point, I'm sitting in my driveway. And so for me to connect with his energy again would take a while. And so instead, I did something called muscle testing, which is something that someone else taught me. A lot of these skills work that way. And so I did some muscle testing. It works kind of in the same way as a pendulum does. And muscle testing said yes. And that felt right. And so I said, yep, muscle testing says yes, that's where he is. And she responded very shortly after I said that and said, we found him. He was just leaving Lexington Park. I had a feeling about it, and a neighbor saw him crossing the road. Thank you a million times over. I don't know how to repay you, but I really appreciate it. They were very scared. Work like this is is everything. I mean, being able to help someone find their baby is phenomenal. As a parent, I can imagine what that would feel like if you don't know that your child's okay. And so to have a gift that I can help with a situation like that um, is absolutely phenomenal. This work, um, many of you have heard me say over and over again, continues to astound me. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I wouldn't probably have even believed this was possible. Um, but every day, I'm just amazed. I'm amazed at this gift and I'm amazed at the information. And I am so, so grateful um, that I can do this work in the world. So um, please come and see me if you would like some healing or some intuitive work. You can find me at twincitiesreikimaster.com. And please, if you are in an urgent situation like this, feel free to reach out. I didn't charge for this, and I would never charge for something like this. This is work that we do um, because people should help people. I really feel like our children are our children. So all children are part of the community. We need to all take care of them. So I hope this brought a little bit of love and light and smiles to your day. And I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.